Deep dive time here on Sports Bet, and being that it's baseball playoffs, who better to bring in than Drew Martin from SportsMemo.com, who's been a regular contributor to the show, as well as other videos on SBRPicks.com. Drew, welcome to Sports Bet.
Hey, Teddy, thanks for having me on, man. I'm excited for this time of year in sports. We got basketball right around the corner, MLB playoffs, and college football in full swing, man. Thanks for having me on, Teddy.
Hey, pleasure's mine. Let's get right down to it. MLB playoffs. Basic strategy? Is there a basic strategy for playoffs? What do you counsel someone that's just trying to learn the nuances of handicapping the MLB postseason?
Well, yeah, I do think I'll start with saying I do think it's a bit different than the regular season. And my advice would be to kind of keep your exposure low. And the MLB playoffs are a bit random. You know, just to throw out a couple stats to put it in perspective, teams that have the best record in the regular season since 1995, that's the wild card era since that began, only 4 of the 26 teams have actually won the World Series, and 11 times they didn't make it out of the division series. So a lot of times the best record and who puts up the most wins doesn't always translate into the postseason in Major League Baseball, Teddy.
So what kind of factors can bettors look for? Because that's certainly something that I've noticed over the years, is that playing the chalk in the playoffs isn't necessarily the way to go. But what are the areas that you like to look at for postseason baseball? Because the number one area for me is always bullpens in October. And the teams that have, I could care less about a lot of the starting pitching matchups. When a team has an elite bullpen, when they can contain their opponents in the latter stages, hold on to leads, to me, that's the number one factor. What's your number one factor, Drew?
Yeah, you're taking words out of my mouth, Teddy. I mean, you know, whether you chalk it up, no pun intended, to sequencing small sample size, given the 7 games or even, down to 5 games, I think it does come down to bullpen. And, we've seen it in recent years. Look no further than the Kansas City Royals. It's just high leverage situations and having really your best pitcher on the mound coming out of the pen with the right matchup. And it tends to have a bigger impact in the playoffs than it does in the regular season.
And it's not just Kansas City. Of course, when you look at St. Louis and the World Series titles they won in the last decade, you look at San Francisco and the titles that they won over the last decade, all of them predicated on a bullpen that could get key outs in tight situations in the latter stages of the contest. What else besides bullpens? And let me ask you this first. Who's got the bet? I mean, who are our bet on bullpens here? Who do we want our money on when it comes to these bullpen? And then I'm going to ask you about what other factors we want to consider. So answer the second question first. Bullpens. Who's got a bet on? Who's got a bet against?
Well, I mean, as far as bullpens, and this is really what I'm looking to do as far as bet on teams. Best bullpens, in my opinion, it's a wild card team. It's the Baltimore Orioles. They have arguably the best closer in all of baseball in Zach Britton, and their bullpen whip the last month is just 1.07. So I'm not looking to really fade the Orioles anytime soon in this playoff series.
But we're recording this as Baltimore has just thrown the first pitch in Toronto. So we don't know yet how that game's going to turn out as we record this segment. Anyone else besides Baltimore? Let's just say that Baltimore's eliminated by the time that this video actually comes out on SportsBit tomorrow. If the Orioles are eliminated, what other positive bullpen teams do we want to be looking at?
Well, I mean, one team that I've backed, especially in the second half of the season, is the Boston Red Sox. And, they have a pretty good bullpen, in my opinion. And they're a team that has a lot of versatility on the offensive side. They can kind of score runs in multiple facets, which is also a thing that I'm looking to bet on in the MLB playoffs. So I would go with Boston as well.
Yeah, see, I would use the LA Dodgers as the one that comes to mind. An underrated bullpen, a bullpen that hasn't gotten many accolades. They've been remarkably effective all regular season long. And LA, I'm telling you, in my opinion, the Dodgers, the team to beat in the National League. All right, let's talk a couple of more general strategies here. You talk about bullpens. What other factors? Are there any other factors that you look at here in the postseason besides elite level bullpens and or shaky bullpens that you want to bet against?
Yeah, I would throw in another factor that I actually kind of look to, I guess you could say a contrarian method, is teams with home field advantage in the division series are just 41 and 43 since 1995. Again, that's when the wild card era started. So I would actually look to put home field advantage and look to fade that. And home field advantage in the division series is just 8-8. So with odds makers likely going towards home field advantage mattering a little bit more than, in my opinion, it should, I'm actually going to look to fade that philosophy.
Well, all right, Drew. We've got 1 minute left here talking deep dive MLB playoff strategies. I want to bet on team and I want to bet against team moving forward.
All right. Well, bet on team. We already hit on it. It's the Orioles. I'm looking to back the Orioles, especially if obviously they make it out tonight, really because of their bullpen and their relievers. But a fade team for me is probably the San Francisco Giants. Weaker bullpen. And actually, I would also throw in there the Washington Nationals. They do have a pretty good bullpen, but they're banged up. Wilson Ramos, torn meniscus. Daniel Murphy, he's been banged up. Bryce Harper, been hurt as well. So the Nationals is a team I'm looking to fade as well.
Last question. The two series that are already set, the Red Sox against the Indians and the Dodgers against the Nationals, the road team is the favorite in both of those series. Which of the two underdogs do you think is more likely to escape with the series win? Cleveland or Washington?
Oh, man. I don't like either one.
Neither. Say neither.
Oh, it's definitely neither. I like both road teams in that.
So you're saying the road chalk is road chalk for a reason. Drew Martin, excellent analysis. Thank you for your time. Where can folks get a hold of you if they're looking to find more Drew Martin information?
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at Drew Martin Bets. That's my name with BETS at the back of it. And then all my work's at sportsmemo.com.
Thank you so much, Drew. Enjoy the games and good luck.
Hey guys, for the full video, go to sbrpicks.com.
Hey, Sportsbet viewers, just one game in MLB today. Mike Brenner yesterday had a winner with the Blue Jays. Run line and the team
money
total.
line.
And
the team total, too, cashed for me.
And we're going to break down the San Francisco Mets game.
Damn, I forgot about that.
Tough one. Big pitching matchup here. Bumgarner and Syndergaard. Man.
Hey, when you guys are done, come on in. I got a pick you do not want to miss in this game. Trust me.